Live TV, as they say. What's going on, everybody? We are here nearby Bank of America Stadium on a dreary Sunday morning. The Sunday morning after Thanksgiving. But we're here, we're out of our food comas, and we're ready to bring you some Panthers coverage here today. How's it going, Charlotte Vibe fam? I'm Andre Cassidy with the man of the people, Chris Jenkins, and a very special guest that we'll introduce on here in the next short while.
Yeah. If we make it, I keep getting scared that we're going to get hit, and our guests will be able to testify. Like we're on an empty parking deck, and somebody literally asked us if they could park like near us, or if they'd be in the shot. I said, "Oh yeah, if you're gonna," I'm thinking they're gonna. You guys can't see, but I'm pointing over here, and so they go to start parking, and then he's actually going to back into right here. And I mean, why? But nevertheless,
of all the places that you could park, you have so many options to choose from. He wanted to park right there. But nevertheless, we are here. We are ready to go. And Chris, how are you feeling about today's game?
I'm feeling good. Actually, I can't say I'm feeling good, man. It's a little, the weather's clearing up. We got the Denver Broncos coming into town, 3-8. I don't know. We'll see how I feel as the game goes on.
Yeah, and it's a rematch of Super Bowl 50. Can we say that? I mean,
I wanted to say that, right?
I mean, to try to gather some, I guess, interest in this game, because we were driving through Uptown.
Yeah.
And boy, did it feel like a ghost town. Like, it didn't even feel like a game day with the amount of traffic or lack of traffic there was through Center City.
I think if we had a live audience, they would be booing us right now if we said Super Bowl 50. How could you think of Super Bowl 50 at a time like this?
I don't think anybody wants to remember what happened that day. I think even to this day, I cannot watch the highlights of that game just because of how painful it was. And it's still painful.
It was painful. Even
to this day, like with how the game turned out and all the opportunities that we could have had for the taking, and we were just that close, and we just couldn't get over the top. But nevertheless.
And then how about the NFL gave us a rematch immediately? Yeah. The first game of the next season, rematch, and we lose that one too.
And I don't know what was more painful, that game or the Super Bowl, because that whole entire game, they were just going after Cam, illegal hits left and right.
Yeah.
No calls. And I think it was the same referee that was calling that game too. And the Super Bowl, too. So, I mean, nevertheless, I don't want to turn to the conspiracy theory side of Andre Cassidy, but we're here to talk about this game. So let's go over some.
I might zoom in a little bit more.
A little bit?
Just a little, because we got a lot of space over. I know you guys are going to talk about our setup. I'll let Andre tell you where we are as I tighten in the camera view just a little bit more.
As he does that, we're going to go over some transactions.
No, tell him about where we are, man.
Oh, well, we are. If this is a familiar locale for all of you out here, this was our setup for the Thursday night game a couple weeks ago. And with it raining so much outside right now, we decided to come back. So we're here. This is the parking deck to the Catalyst building over in Uptown, right off the side of Romeo Bearden Park with Bank of America Stadium in the background. So, you know, we're using our imagination, we're figuring it out, and we're improvising on the fly. So I think we found our second favorite place to go live in the event that weather does hit us, and I think this is the spot.
This is it, yeah, this is it.
So
this is gonna be it.
I really hope that that's not picking up on the sound there, that little alarm that was going off there.
It might have, but we're good.
Nevertheless, it's over now. Little side handle there.
You ready to go through our show today?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, who's first, me or you?
So I'll go over the transactions.
All right, go over it.
So there were a couple of transactions that Carolina did over the week. So they activated cornerback T.J. Carey and defensive end Kobe Jones via standard elevation for today's game. Now, I don't believe they will be active, but they were able to practice for this game. So I don't believe that they will be in today's game, but you don't
think they're going to make it?
Typically they don't, right? I mean, you would need to have like a week under your belt before you can actually be active for a game. But nevertheless, two positions that can use some depth, had some injuries, especially at the corner spot. So it's good that we have options at our disposal if and when we need it.
These guys can actually play today as long as they were activated. They don't have to be on the roster too long. Okay. They're ready. They could be ready to go. So
ready to go when their number is called.
Activated means that they're now eligible to be on the roster today when they do their active and inactive list.
Okay.
So, and it just means that they don't have to stay on the 53-man roster. Once Monday hits, they can revert back to the practice squad.
Well, there you go.
There you go.
This is why the man of the people.
That's why we're here working together, man.
There you go.
Is it my turn?
I believe so.
All right. So today we've got the two teams taking on each other, the Panthers and the Denver Broncos. The Carolina Panthers are an astounding 3-8 after falling to Baltimore, 13-3. And what was a game that I don't want to say it was closer than what it was. Who cares, right? We lost, 13-3. Only put up 3 points on the board. Baker Mayfield was our quarterback. He will not be our quarterback today because of that bad output. And we're taking on, this is going to be the game of the week for the cellar dwellers, all right? We're taking on the Denver Broncos. What's it like to travel so far when you're a terrible team? Take on a terrible team, right?
From coast to coast. I wouldn't say they're from the West Coast, but they're pretty close.
It's close
to the
enough.
West Coast.
Yeah.
Having to make that cross-country trip to the beautiful Charlotte, North Carolina.
Beautiful, rainy Carolinas. But the Carolina Panthers are taking on Denver Broncos. The Denver Broncos are 3-7 because they have not yet had their bye week. We will now have our bye week after this week. But anyway, Carolina 3-8, Denver Broncos 3-7. Denver lost in overtime last week to the Las Vegas Raiders. A little bit of a gut punch in the way that they lost that game. They just had a breakdown in the secondary and just left a guy wide open to do a walk-off touchdown. Did you know these two teams have only played each other 7 times?
Really?
I didn't know that. As I was putting together this list, I was kind of intrigued that they've only played each other 7 times. It's like I feel old because I've been to half of those games, right?
Oh,
it's like
wow.
only 7 times. But today, out of that series, Denver wins 6-1. I don't do predictions. Our guest coming on in a second, he may join in with a prediction. But when I'm like a stats guy, and I go to feel like, well, man, if we only beat them 1 time, we probably will not beat them today because we're pretty much evenly bad teams and they win most of the time.
I will say, every time that we play Denver, I feel like we always lose to them. Like, there was a game back in 2013 or 2012, I believe, and it was the first time that they ever wore the all-black uniforms, and they just got demolished in that game. And for whatever reason, Denver just seems to have our number every time that we play them. So hopefully that's not the case today.
Yeah.
But I don't particularly have a strong feeling that this trend will change.
Okay. You know, we're going to break script a little bit because I'm hearing a lot of comments about this guy that's supposed to be on. So we're going to speed through our spot just a little bit so we can get him in.
We're building the anticipation.
Yeah, we can't build it anymore. They want him on. So let's give a few shout-outs in the comments. I got a new hand warmer that I'm not going to drop, so I'm going to put this down so I can work some of these comments real quick, and then we're going to actually have this guy come on in a second. Okay. Who's that? Can you see that comment right there? You can see, look on my screen.
Tamia Jenkins.
You got it right all season.
And how did I say it this time?
I'll give you another shot.
Taima.
Jeez,
man, having some amnesia early on here. Hopefully we have the advantage being that this is a home game. So, I mean, you got that going.
Yeah.
Now, we have not won a game outside of our division, so, I mean, hopefully that trend will start today. There will be a different trend that we'll see. But it helps to be at home. Hopefully we'll have a good crowd, but so far it's been a little sparse.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and ask this guest to come in. Now, you can filibuster for a second.
Okay.
It's not filibuster. That's like political talk.
Or we're going to do some ad-libbing, right?
Ad-libbing. So you can go ahead and stand right here, sir, and I'm going to adjust the camera to bring you on in as he continues to go through some things.
Nice setup here.
Nice setup. We're making it happen.
Let's see, we're going to widen out a little bit. So
other way.
If you could go this way just a tiny bit, because you're going to be beside me.
Yeah, over to your left. But yeah, it's a home game today.
Right way, then you went wrong way. There you go.
You got it.
And then I'm going to adjust the camera here to get you in here a little bit better.
The man of many talents, Chris Jenkins, doing his thing as always. So, but yeah, it's a home game today. We'll see how everything goes. I mean, the production value from both teams, offensively speaking, kind of at the bottom of the league.
Not good.
Not good. So I don't know how both offenses are going to be today.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
How you can just step up a little bit and then just over a little bit. There you go. Oh, I'm winding just a smidgen more. No, you're good. You're good.
Okay.
So let's go ahead and go through the rest of our script that we had. Free to comment on anything as we're going through it. But people were talking about you, man. So we wanted to just go ahead and get everything adjusted and bring you in there. Where were we?
We were talking about the home game.
The home game. Oh,
And
as I was
then
going through my script?
with your comments, but then now we're about to head over to some facts.
Yeah. Well, let me also show the standings currently for these teams since I'm talking about the records.
Yeah.
We'll show the NFC South standings right now really quickly here. And what do we have? We're last, but we're 2 games out of first.
Okay, Chris. We've been saying that for how long now? Past month?
Hey, we're just going to show this on the screen really quickly. We're in last place. Tampa Bay and Atlanta at the top with 5 wins apiece. New Orleans, number 3, 4 wins. Carolina at the bottom, 3-8. So those are your NFC South standings as they are right now. And, there's a chance.
There's a chance, but time is running out, Chris. I mean, we're about to be in December, man. Typically after Thanksgiving, that's when reality starts to set in for a lot of these teams.
Yeah.
Think they're still in contention. But fellas, we're running out of time here, right? We got 6 games left. 3 of them are at home. So, I mean, you got that split, right?
Yeah.
But we got to start moving it here because we're not at that point.
This man's itching to tell us. What you got?
He's right. I mean, time is running out. I think you guys mentioned this earlier, but Wilkes has to show that he can win a division or win a game outside of the division. It's important that we get a W outside the division. It's all good. I love beating the Saints and the Falcons and the Bucks, but in order to get this team on the right track, we've got to get a W outside the division. Thought we were going to get it last week. Didn't happen. That would have been a good victory against a very good Ravens team. Didn't work out. But here we are. Got the Broncos coming into town, and we'll see.
How do you feel about our chances today?
I mean, the weather helps. I mean, last time it was like this. It was Thursday night. It was raining. It was a nasty game. We put the football on the ground
right.
and run it through Foreman, and I think that's going to be how it works today, especially with Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold's our quarterback again. We're playing quarterback roulette.
I like the way he took ownership of that. He's our quarterback.
It's reality. To be quite frank, none of these guys are the long-term answer, but we have to work with what we have to work with. I mean, it is what it is, right? And you have a good running game. You have a really good offensive line. And let's get Foreman going. Couldn't get him going last week. I think the Broncos ranked 14th in the league against the run.
Okay.
Better against the pass, right? So they've got Surtain and those guys. So we don't want to throw the football too much. Let's not put it in harm's way. Let's run the football.
Especially with Sam Darnold under center too.
Yeah. You got to limit the chances we turn the ball over. So, keep it on the ground.
All right. So, did you predict who's going to win?
I did not predict. But I go Panthers.
Go Panthers.
I think we can. It's a winnable game. I think we can. But at this point, really, honestly, it's not. I mean, it is about wins and losses. But I just want to see my guys develop. Like I want to see the young guys out there. I just want to see Wilkes kind of get this going in the right direction. That this is really not about wins and losses anymore. The season is. I mean, you said we're 2 games behind, which is back, but it's kind of hard to get excited about it, week in and week out until we can see some consistency.
You just want to see a good game today.
I just want to see a good game.
Give us some hope.
Give us some hope.
Need. As we head into the holiday season, we need some hope.
Hey, why don't you give us some few interesting facts? We like to throw in some things out there to help you guys that are watching this game know some things. So as you're watching the game with some friends, you get like, hey, did you know? So you can seem like the expert. I think you got the list.
Well, as we pull it up right here, J.J. Jansen. He's been a guy that's been on this team for how long?
Forever.
14 seasons.
Right?
Yeah.
Today, he will tie John Casey's record for most games played in franchise history with 221 games under his belt.
That's a lot.
Casey, the OG guy, he stayed all the way up until 2010, 2011 time frame.
Sure.
And he's...
I say sure because I don't know.
Yeah. J.J. Jansen for about the same time as well.
Right.
14 seasons as a Carolina Panther.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that?
Hey, so this is hold on. This is a note for all you kids out there that are watching. Cam Newton, he's a popular guy. Quarterbacks get all the shine.
Yeah.
But if you learn how to kick the ball, you stay in the league 14 seasons, you got some money there.
Or
you got
the ball.
Right. You got it. And how many injuries are you going to have? Cam's going to get beat up. I'm just saying. That's my little 2 cents.
And if Matt Rule's your head coach, you got a really good chance of getting drafted. So,
shout out to Matt Rule, by the way, everybody. Congrats on a new job at Nebraska.
Yeah. We're going to get too out of script here. We'll come back to talking about Matty and his great agent that you wish to have.
Back to what I was saying, though. Steve's. All right, let me breathe there because that was good, Chris. But third on the list for all time is Steve Smith
Yes.
with 182.
All right.
So there is a little bit of a variance there.
I was
but
going to make
he's-
that a trivia question for Rashad, but
Right?
would you have gotten it?
I know. But
Okay. we all about, having fun, learning at the same time.
Right. As we go to Brian Burns, who's been having a relatively good season up to this point. He just needs one more sack to pass Greg Hardy, who has 34 sacks.
You got to make this trivia. I want to put him on the spot, even though it's, just for fun, because
Right.
I wouldn't know.
yeah,
just to see.
I wouldn't have had him match with Greg, but we had a lot of good edge rushers, so that would have been a tough one.
Yep.
That would have been a tough one.
Do you know what Greg Hardy's doing right now? Anybody?
MMA.
UFC?
There you go.
I interviewed
Or
Greg
MMA,
Hardy not
yeah.
too long ago.
Did you?
Yeah.
And how's he doing?
What was that like?
I interviewed him right before he had a fight, and he got beat. I think he's still doing MMA, but yeah, we did interview Greg Hardy, man. So yeah.
Okay. So look for that on the Panther Nation podcast. I don't think I put the link in the description yet, but whenever you probably watch this, I will have that link in the description at that point to check out Panther Nation podcast with Rashad and Dave. Dave was lucky enough to be on our show. I feel special. The few times he's come to Charlotte. How many times has he been here?
This year, I think he only comes about once or twice a year, maybe.
Yeah. And got him on the show, so I feel good about that.
And that was on my first day, too.
That was it?
So I believe so. Yeah, it was the Saints game.
I feel
right?
like you've been here
Saints game.
forever.
Yeah.
Wow. Feels like forever.
Anyway.
But time flies. But I'll tell you what.
Fun.
Right.
We were
When you're
having
3 and 8.
Gotta
It
have,
just goes by.
Hey, you got to have fun somehow, right? No matter the circumstances. So, Carolina, can you believe this?
You got to make this a trivia question.
Yeah, shoot me a question.
I'm
for
going to try
Rashad.
and phrase it in a way.
Let's do that.
Okay. So they are the only team in the NFL with multiple defensive linemen to record an interception. Now, who are
Okay.
those two guys?
He tossed that up pretty good.
So Peppers, right?
No,
Currently.
this season.
Currently.
This season.
This
Okay,
season.
Bravion Roy got one, right?
Okay.
Who's the other?
Can I give you a hint?
Yeah, sure.
It happened. Oh wait.
That one
Never
happened
mind.
last week.
Yeah, that was last week.
He's big. Well, they're all big. But he's really
Derrick
big.
Brown. Okay, I remember now.
So we're the only team in something. So
that's
two
a good
defensive
sign.
linemen
Let's find some
Yeah.
more of those stats.
with multiple interceptions. So maybe we can keep that streak going today. Who knows? But that's a pretty good trivia fact, I feel like.
Yeah,
Good
yeah.
to know about this Panthers defense.
Hey,
Thieves Avenue everywhere on the field, right?
It's becoming contagious.
Right. And then the last one.
I feel like somebody's going to hit us.
Yeah, they
Just
come up
like
pretty close.
they're just going to be like watching and drive right into it.
Oh, Chris, don't worry. We got insurance.
We do.
okay?
We do. I don't think
Panther
anybody wants
Nation's
to
got
use
insurance too, right?
I do have insurance. I'm good.
I think we're covering on those bases, right?
We
And
have wives that will not be appreciative
And
of
we
our
have evidence too. If they don't believe us.
Clear evidence.
Clear evidence in 4K.
And a bunch of viewers to
Yes.
back us up.
in 4K. So, we put our money where our mouth is.
I think
So
they'd
there
see
you go.
Rashad beating them down after he got hit. Like, but if he ain't hurt too bad, would that happen?
Yeah, I probably would be aggressively retaliating. Yes.
If we didn't have that one, surveillance cameras as well.
We do. We have 3 to our right.
So, Johnny Hecker, this is another good stat. I don't know if it's a good stat since we're a bad team, if that's like the one stat we're
I think we need to
looking
give our
forward
status. All right. We need to give our stat guy that does his research a little star, because I think he did some digging to get some
You
stuff.
did some digging.
I
this
did
week.
some digging.
We're just going to name drop right here. This guy, Chris Jenkins.
I did it last
He was
night
digging, man.
while the kid was up. Did my research.
And some really good
Good use of your
factoids. Anyway, Johnny Hecker currently leads the league with 26 punts down inside the 20-yard line.
Lots of opportunity to get that. Lots
Today,
of opportunity.
right?
Hey, Matt Rule said that there was 3 components, and he said this year was going to be the year that the special teams was impactful.
Yeah.
And I think that he's right.
I think he prepared for that opportunity by signing Hecker. And then listen, people got on me because I was one of the guys that said, hey, Hecker is not going to be like, come on, it's a punter. You're not going to have that much impact on the game. But when you're leading the league in punts 26 whatever times, I mean, inside the 10, I'm sure he's kicked it like 100 times. That's a lot of opportunity. So, yes, he has been impactful. Yeah, and Hecker's done a good job punting. Yeah, so I'll give him credit.
And I think he's our Sportsman of the Year nominee
yeah.
kind of deal. Yeah.
Couldn't find anybody else.
JT, KJ Jansen would have been a good option.
He's
right?
probably already had his. So they had to give it to somebody else.
It's the state of the Panthers, folks.
In any event, he ranks 10th all-time in his career with 326 career punts landing inside the 20-yard line. So,
Yeah. About half of those with the
man.
Panthers, man. It's been half a season, and half of those punts came with the Panthers.
All right, we're going to completely cut script here because we're having too much fun. I want to make sure we get Rashad some interaction with our comments that are coming here. So, and we probably got about 20 minutes of battery life because I was doing the research last night and didn't charge everything. So we're going to go ahead and start the interactive part of the show. Let's see what we got here. Tyrone Green, people are so crazy. That was probably earlier with the
with
person
the car
that was parking. Yeah,
right?
with the car situation.
Situation.
All
man.
right.
That's what we're going to call it.
If you could, sir, just step forward a little. There you go. Let's see. Tyrone Green. 10 Tizzy, what's up, Vibe? And Cass, you got nicknames here.
Yeah, I guess it's
You got Cass as a nickname.
10 Tizzy, a regular on the Charlotte
Manning
5.
wanted that ring along with the retirement, so it was only right. They're talking about when we were talking about Super Bowl 50 earlier.
It's rigged. Rigged.
10 Tizzy activated a 47-year-old cornerback. I guess that was one of our lists as we went through the
I
transactions.
guess.
Somebody's old. Not
Old
not
looking.
liking
I don't
that.
know if he's that old, but
That's all right. Donald Duck says 50. No, we're still talking about Super Bowl 50, so I'm going to just give shout-outs to those people's names as we get caught up today here. Rob Smith says, what's up, Rashad?
What's up?
what's going on?
Tyrone Green. So let's go ahead and talk about this comment. Tyrone Green says Sam Darnold will be the great today like he was at the Cowboys game last year.
But he had 2 interceptions in that game, so how can you say he was great if he turned the ball over twice?
I think one benefit of Sam is that there's no tape on him, right? Not from this year, not with this coach. And so when you come off the field with you come onto the field with no tape, there's nothing. They don't know what to expect. There's nothing to game plan for. So if he does have a good game, it would not surprise me one bit. But do not let that change the fact that he is not the long-term answer, and the long-term answer is not on the roster. So don't be blinded by short-term success, please.
Yeah, Sam Darnold, I'm not looking forward to Sam playing today just because I feel like you're going to get the post-game press conference like, so what happened was the guy kind of came over and I didn't see him, and that's my Sam Darnold impression. I don't want to hear it.
But bearded Sam might be different. He's got a beard now, so he might,
No Shave November working for him.
He could be
pretty good.
Could be it.
Man, his passer rating is terrible. Like, I think we forget how bad Sam was last year just because we're looking for some hope this year. But to be fair, all the quarterbacks that we have are not great.
I mean, did you see how Baker Mayfield played last week?
Right.
They're all PJ.
So it's kind of like this. Tell me this is a fair assessment. Like, Sam Darnold's a C-. No. Baker Mayfield is a C-. Sam Darnold's a C.
Okay.
And P.J. Walker's a C+.
Fair enough. I'll take that. Yeah, I'll take. Or maybe even PJ might get a B-.
B-?
On a good day.
Yeah,
On a curve.
He
Like
played.
against Atlanta.
Yeah, I think PJ. We got to give PJ some credit. The guy was 4th-string quarterback. He wasn't even supposed to make this team.
Right.
Right. Without Corral going down, if Corral was healthy, PJ Walker would not be on this roster. Let's be clear on that.
He wouldn't be in the
Right?
NFL, would he?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Matt Rule gave him a shot. He's a Matt Rule guy, but I got to give PJ Walker's credit. He looked confident, man, when he was out there. Hopefully he comes back healthy at some point. But again, let's not be blinded by the fact that none of these guys are long-term answers. We have to get another quarterback from somewhere next year. None of these guys are in.
How much could Matt Corral be our quarterback?
I think it's worth a look. I
Right.
think you have to give him an opportunity because, you brought him in as a 3rd-round pick. You traded up to get him. This would have been his time right now to be playing if he wasn't hurt. So I think you have to, for a fairness perspective, you have to at least give him a shot next year. But you still need to at least make an effort to draft a legitimate long-term quarterback in this upcoming draft. But you have to at least give him some chance to show what the goods are and what he brings to the table.
Yeah. I think it really just depends on the coach, right? Whoever's going to be the coach, how do they view Corral? He's just in a weird situation. He was drafted by a coach who's no longer with the team. Now he's kind of in no man's land. So I feel bad for Corral, but hopefully he'll come back stronger and get a shot next year.
All right, so we're going to spend the next 20 minutes giving shouts out to Panther Nation Podcast. But, you know, we give love to people that sign on. Darian Carter Coles says, what's up, PNP?
Shout out, Darren.
Making True Money. Gives another shout out. Let me see if yep, there we go. Put him on the screen there.
Making True Money. What's up, man?
Tyrone Green says CP3. That's a different podcast, right? But nevertheless, we give it a shout out. Big Justin will be at the game today.
At least we'll know we'll have somebody there.
Yeah,
right?
we'll have somebody.
It's pretty light out here.
Thomas Adams, again, shouts out to Panther Nation Podcast.
Shout out, Thomas.
Cedar. I'm so intrigued on how Sam is going to play, knowing that this might be his last chance to stay in the NFL. Baker's lost his chance last week.
Yep.
That's true.
Shad, they ain't ready.
They don't want me to pot. It's an inside joke. Shout
Okay.
out to Rob. Sometimes I go on these tangents and I start talking real crazy. So
Hey, man.
Hey, at least you
inside
got
joke.
it.
Do what you
Shout
do.
out to
Do what
Rob,
you
man.
do.
Shout out to Rob.
Continue to go through some of these comments here.
Yeah, keep leaving those comments, by the way.
Big Jordan looking like he got the Sam Darnold beard.
The beard.
Yeah, he's got it.
Fear the beard.
Yeah, maybe that will be his case, right?
Or hate.
Making a bunch says PJ was hurt. People who say he didn't see the play where he got hurt. I'm not sure what that comment's all about. Anybody can fill in, but nevertheless, appreciate your comments, True Money, for coming on. Might be some inside conversation that I'm catching in the comments right there. Let's go for the inactive list.
Yeah,
If you
I'm trying to
are you
pull
looking it up?
right now. They have not.
Andre Jackson. I need to get my glasses. It's been getting worse and worse that I can't see. So, and now we got little reflections out here with the light.
Right?
But I'm trying to get it
Your
right.
screen is dim, too. So,
I
you
did-
gotta
I did-
give yourself the benefit of the
See,
doubt.
man,
okay?
that's why. You know,
Right.
hit the like button if you want this guy coming back next year. Just hit the like button because he helps me out. Oh, you know what?
Dude, his screen is so dim right now. He's like, man, my eyesight's not good, but you got a big old light
I
shining
don't know.
up.
I can see it just fine.
Yeah. Oh.
I was just about to invite you on permanently, and he says he can see it fine. Come on, man. Comment about Greg Hardy was Mr. Black and Blue on and off the.
Oh, man.
Oh, man. That's a bad good joke, man. That's a bad good joke.
Oh, man.
But nevertheless, thanks for the comment.
Yeah,
too.
thanks for your comment. Look at.
Oh, my goodness. That was
And look at the
funny.
wife here. She likes my man Pat Coltrane, so she says, "It's your boy, it's your boy." Shout out to Panther Nation.
Shout out to Pat. My guy. Shout out to Pat Coltrane.
Let's see what else we got here as we go through some of these comments, just making sure that we're getting up to date with everything.
Yeah.
Landon says, "What's going on, Panther
my
Nation
guy, what's good,
podcast?" Edward Moore says, "Great content, guys. Thanks." So this is a good segue where I do truly want to invite you, sir, for the rest of the year and to the foreseeable future to anytime it's a home game. You see, we got your mic going.
Let's do it.
You know, if you need a stand so you can have your computer, but you got so much knowledge up here, you probably don't need one.
Let's do it.
We got you one of these coming. It didn't
Uh-oh.
come in the mail today, so
Nice.
we'll
Yeah,
have you with
let's
that.
get it.
And we're gonna get you your own camera, man.
Hey,
so
man, I
that
appreciate
you know
that.
when you can bless us with your appearance on the show.
Anytime.
I think
This
it's
is
fun.
This is fun.
And you know, we want to make this maybe the best live pregame show
Absolutely.
that there's out there that covers Carolina Panthers. So we all put a lot of time into it. This guy's very knowledgeable. That's why I keep inviting him on. Dave, if you're ever down again, you're also invited on
Shout out to
anytime. The other half of Panther Nation podcast to come on the show.
And the Charlotte Vibe will pay for your plane ticket.
Okay, okay.
Now he might come.
he might be here.
I think I just gave Chris a heart attack when I said that. So, but nevertheless, whenever you're free, come on down.
Dave
man.
got money, man. He don't need it. Dave got money.
I can't say this name, but last name Colson. I just want to win despite who's at quarterback. I don't care if all three play in the game.
Facts.
At some point, just win.
Al Davis.
Just win on Sunday, man. That's all we ask.
And then
That's
Edward
literally
Moore
all we
says
ask.
Rashad is the man. So I think we're all caught up
Edward, man? What's going
with the
on?
comments. Did you get the inactives yet?
I'm still trying to pull it up.
You
I'm
are
not
still trying.
seeing
You're not seeing it
anything
anywhere
yet.
out there? Well, that's all right. We don't have to see it out there. Let's
I know Denver has it out.
Let's talk a little bit about this game today. So we got Russell Wilson, that is another paid guy in the NFL. Got a really nice I think he ended up buying like the biggest house
I mean, it's ridiculous.
in Denver area when he got out there. Shouts out to Russell for, hey, if you get it, you get it. But you got so he
There we
he
go.
got the inactives.
Just pulled
But
up
we'll
right
finish
there.
this
Sorry.
Russell Wilson comment. Russell Wilson's been struggling. he's had a decent game. I think last week he had a decent game, but still the problem was no touchdowns, and touchdowns wins games. What kind of Russell Wilson may we see today?
Hopefully not a good one. I would like for Carolina to win today.
Yeah.
But I don't know if we'll see a whole lot of Russell Wilson today because look at the weather.
Yeah.
It is not ideal.
It cleared up, though. I think
it has, but the conditions on the field still may be less than ideal. So I feel like for both sides, it's going to be the pound the rock kind of deal today. I know they released Melvin Gordon last week, so I don't know who's going to be their next guy up for them. But I feel like he's going to be one of those, hey, we're just going to manage a game kind of situations today because they know that Carolina's defense isn't particularly good when it comes to the run.
Right.
I mean, we're middle of the pack defensively speaking when it comes to that aspect. So maybe we don't see a whole lot of Russell Wilson today, but we'll have to see because, he has not had an ideal year this year. This is the worst statistical year that he's had up to this point in his career.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was just going to say with Russ, I think that it's a square peg, round hole situation with him and the Broncos. When you think of the best Russell Wilson, it's when he can do the off-platform stuff. When he gets out the pocket, freestyling, throwing the plays deep, the deep ball, and he's getting it going. That's the Russell Wilson you want to see. I think under that offense, it's quick passes, quick timing, and that's not Russ. So I think they have to figure that out with the Broncos. I don't know what the situation is. If you go back and listen to Steve Smith on his podcast, he mentions that a lot of these offenses are the same, right? So the Kubiak offense, it's all the same. All these, all the teams are running the same offense, right? And so I think the defense is starting to pick up on it, and that's probably the reason why Russell Wilson is struggling. I hope he struggles today too, but we'll see.
We'll have to.
And I don't know if we said it. Did we say congratulations to Steve Smith on his nominee for the Hall of Fame? Right, he's getting further into the process.
He'll make it in.
So congrats.
There's no doubt. He'll definitely make it in. I mean, you cannot have Steve Smith in the Hall of Fame with the impact that he had on the game for a guy that's 5'9".
Agreed.
With the part of he's just phenomenal.
Greatest
I don't want to
Panther
get
of
on
all
a
time.
tangent.
Greatest
here.
all time?
Greatest of all time.
There we go.
There you go.
Hey, Tim Tizzy said that I'm ducking him. I don't know why I'm ducking you, Tim. What'd you say, man? So if I ducked you, please let me know what you said so I can get you back on here.
Right.
Colson said that Russell's still dangerous, and somebody said that maybe Sierra got him struggling.
Oh, no.
I'd be struggling too if I had Sierra.
You be on struggle bus?
I would struggle, yes.
So we got that inactive list, right?
We sure do.
All right.
Want me to read it off?
Go for it.
All right, so we got quarterback P.J. Walker.
No
That's
surprise.
the obvious one.
Yeah.
Safety, Justin Burris.
Okay, Burris is out. He's been dealing with that concussion for like weeks, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he practiced, right? I think he practiced Thursday and Friday, but I guess he's still not there yet.
Yeah, I don't feel like there's a reason to bring a guy back like that's been struggling with the team where it is.
You said it.
Do you disagree?
You're right. No, I don't. No, you're
like,
right. You're right.
I mean,
because
right. One thing Wilkes has been talking about, it seems like he's going to be protective of players considering circumstances.
Right.
So it's like if the circumstances are we're 3-8, this guy's been out for a while, might as well give him another week.
What's the rush to have him back in there? So this one's a little bit of a shocker. Safety, Miles Hartsfield.
Okay.
So we're gonna be
right?
Yeah, we're gonna be thin at that spot today. Tight end, Giovanni Ricci.
Okay.
Fullback, tight end.
I'd like to see more Reese.
Yeah.
I like him. I think more I formation. That puzzles me a little bit, especially tonight or today. It's going to be raining. I'm a little puzzled by that one, but
right.
Yeah.
Linebacker Corey Littleton will also be out today as well. Offensive tackle Lonell Coleman and defensive tackle, Matt Ioannidis as well.
Expected.
So that's his second week that he's not in the lineup for the Panthers today. So quite a list of players. Some expected, some unexpected, but we'll see how that affects the team today as they try to get their fourth win of the season.
Yeah, and
at least.
Tim Tizzy says you seem upset about Richie being out.
I'm not upset. I just like to see more. I think it'd be valuable in our formation, stuff like that, power run. I just would like to see that. I think he's a good lead blocker. I don't know. Not necessarily upset, but he's not a game changer by any means. But
So if my memory's, and I'm a little slow today, 'cause I still got a little food hangover. So that means Shi Smith is active. He was out. with an illness? Anybody else we can think of that means that they're playing because of that list?
I think that, Derek Brown, he'll be in.
Yeah.
I know he's been dealing with the illness the past couple of weeks. But yeah, I think everybody that we had that's on that list, that's kind of to be expected
All right.
for them to be out today. So.
All right, so we probably got about 5 more minutes. Again, we're all here having fun. Hope you guys are enjoying the show with Rashad from Panther Nation Podcast and Andre and myself from Charlotte Vibe. Hopefully you're enjoying the new broadcast with the 3 people. I want this guy to come back for all the home games. I think it's cool having the 3 panel up here and you guys interacting, giving us questions. One thing that just came through in the comments I'm going to put on the screen here in a second is Steve Wilks. I've enjoyed his demeanor as a head coach. Not to say it's the best, but I've enjoyed it. That's the first word I think about.
It's definitely a change in pace compared to what we had beforehand in terms of like the bluntness and the directness. He doesn't really ramble like the other guy did.
He definitely does not ramble.
Or stutter.
That too.
No.
But yeah, the demeanor is definitely different.
In
a good way.
Yeah, and there's of course more than one way to be a good successful coach. You know, you got Tony Dungy, which is a guy who was very calm and didn't curse. You got all kinds of style, but I've enjoyed it. One of the things that he said this week, and I'm going to put the comment up here in a second, or I already put it up here, was I can agree on Steve Wilks saying our star players need to be playing like stars.
Right.
And he said that, hey, I wasn't throwing guys under the bus. He also went on to say, I ain't trying to be people's buddies. I'm trying to tell people what they need to hear. We're pros. We need to play like pros. Comments on that? We need to play like stars. And who do you think all could be included in that list that he was talking about? I'm going to say DJ Moore first comes to mind, which he spoke about on the press conference. Says he needs to catch the ball. And I love that just from the point of when I was doing my post-game show last week, I talked about DJ Moore needing to do a little bit better. And people were like, hey, don't be talking about my boy DJ Moore. And I said, hey, I love DJ Moore. Yeah. I gave him a pound in the locker room this week, as a matter of fact. But he's not taking advantage of some opportunities. I feel like what could be a problem with DJ Moore is like he hasn't been getting the ball all season, right? And so mentally you got to kind of like make sure you say checked in, make sure you say tuned in. You try to like look at other things to do, like I'm blocking the ball, and then suddenly they throw you the ball. I feel like maybe he's not as sharp because he's like trying to like he's not an emotional guy, right? Yeah. And I feel like he's been trying to deal with this, and then when he gets the opportunity, he's like, oh, I got to wake up and get into it. And maybe he's struggling from that standpoint of just he's not getting the repetition. You know, we obviously think about running backs as being guys that need to always be involved to pick up speed. But I don't know. That's my take, but I'm throwing it to whichever one of you guys want to jump in.
Yeah, so I think, it's a rhythm thing, right, at the receiver spot. Like, when you get the ball, like, you want to get it as often as possible. And, like, whenever he has the opportunity to get the ball, I feel like he kind of is in a state of shock because he's like, man, I'm finally getting the ball here. And so when that happens.
And it wasn't a screen.
Right? So, again, it comes down to just having the opportunities early and often, getting him in rhythm, getting him in motion, those kind of little things just to have him have the opportunity to get the ball. I think that's key and paramount to him having more success as we wind down the season. But when you talk about the players, right? I mean, DJ Moore is definitely on that list. Shaq Thompson is on that list as well. Brian Burns, while he's had a good season, he still needs to step it up. So, I mean, when you... So
are you one of the people that, for Brian Burns, says that the sacks are really what you need? I don't care if you're getting close?
It's not just the sacks, it's the impact that you have on the game. Yeah. So you have to have context behind the numbers that you see on the stats. You have to have context. So you need to have a bigger impact. He has had that impact, and he's undisputably our best defensive end. But we need to see more. And that's what he's saying, Steve Wilks. He wants to have that personal accountability for all those guys and challenge them to be better versions of themselves.
I love the comment from Steve. I love that he's challenging these guys. Listen, we love our Panthers. You can't talk about DJ Moore. You can't talk about Brian Burns. There's a lot of guys that are protected, right? Because we hold them in high regard. Right. I just did a whole study on where our players rank amongst the league, right? Mm-hmm. The rest of the league. Not how we feel about them, right? How they rank amongst the rest of the league. And it's not pretty. It's not, just to be honest, it's not pretty. If you want to go back, check it out. It's on our last live stream on Monday. But it's not pretty. We got the only elite player we have is Derek Brown. That's it. Wow. That's it. The only guy that ranks within the top 10 of his position group is Derek Brown. That's it, right? So when you talk about guys like DJ Moore, yes, I think he has an issue with the Baker connection is not there, right? Anytime Baker's a quarterback, it's not working out for whatever reason. I'm not going to dig too deep into it, but for whatever reason, it's not working. So they got to get it going. Maybe Sam Darnold. He did have some better connection with Sam Darnold last year. Maybe we'll see that develop today. Brian Burns, I think he's got to be a little bit better against the run. I think we all look at the sacks. That's great, but you have to be a complete edge rusher. When you look at the best edge rushers in the league, you don't say, even though he has as many sacks as Micah Parsons, he is not impacting the game like Micah Parsons. Right. There's levels to this, right? TJ Watt. Burns is not at the same level as those guys. Right. And that's what we as Panthers fans, that's where we hold him. But in reality, he's not there. So we need more. And I agree. I love that Steve Wilks is holding him accountable. I love that he's not babying these guys, because I think that's what the last guy did. He coddled these guys. No, they need to be challenged, and hopefully that'll pay off today.
And that's your job as a coach, to push them forward, push them past their limits and say, hey, we expect more. And while you're playing good, cool, but we need you to play great. And that's what these players, like DJ Moore and Brian Burns, Derek Brown, even as well, they have that potential to be great, and we need to see more out of them moving forward.
So should we have listened a little bit more for those trade offers that we were getting for those guys? Because both of the guys we're talking about, DJ Moore had a trade offer for a first-round pick. Brian Burns had a trade offer for several first-round picks, and we didn't do it. And I think when it first came out, everybody was like, wow, but thoughts now, should we have considered that?
It's tough, man. That is such a hard question, because I love Brian. I think I've been following him since he was at Florida State. So I love Brian Burns. There's a little bias. I think he can be that complete guy. But now you're in a situation where not only did you thought about the trade, right? But now you have to pay him.
Yep.
And are you going to pay him like a TJ Watt, $20 million
yes, you
per
are.
year? Exactly.
You have no choice.
Exactly. So now you're in a situation where you're going to be overpaying and resetting the market for a guy that's not giving you Micah Parsons or TJ Watt impact. So should we have taken it? I can't answer it. I'm not going to answer that.
What about DJ Moore?
I plead the fifth.
What about DJ Moore?
I don't know what the trade offers were for DJ Moore.
I think it was Green Bay offered a first-round pick.
I probably would have taken it. I probably.
You look
listen, I plead the fifth on all the trade. I like these guys, man. I want us to win, but at the end of the day, the numbers don't lie. And they have to play better.
I feel like this. When that first came out, you get. I don't know if they would have had the true opportunity to take both of them at the same time, both of those trades. I don't know how all that would have worked out. But if you just look at one of them, knowing that there's so much unknown about the future of this team, and I think the more unknown that you have, the more flexibility you want to have.
Yep.
And so if you get, in either case, I feel like if you get rid of DJ Moore, who's I like, but whose production hasn't been able to be there, I feel like you can, not easily, but you can have a fair chance of getting a good wide receiver in the draft that can have the same kind of production. Maybe not eye for eye, but pretty close to some same kind of production that comes out.
Now, that's not a guarantee, though.
It's not a guarantee.
So that's the other part of the argument.
But I feel like it's a pretty fair shot. And then you free up some money, right? On the other side with Brian Burns, again, he's not the top 3 picks. 3? So it's like if you have 3 chances to do good in the draft, 3, one of them should be able to be pretty good. If not, the fact that you get a whole lot of other pieces that you can fill in for that.
There's so many caveats.
Because what's going to happen with what we have right now?
Okay, so the biggest question you have to answer with that is who's leading the direction, right? You don't have a head coach, right? Who's to say we don't keep Wilks, right? What if the new coach comes in and says, I want to build around DJ Moore. I feel like he can be X, Y, Z.
But you don't have to build around DJ Moore.
I'm just saying, he's not. I'm hypothetically, like, what if he says, I like DJ Moore enough to where I want to keep him around? Not necessarily build him. That was not the right term, but keep him around. Let's see what we can do with it. Same with Brian Burns. I mean, there's so many unknowns. We don't know who's leading the team. We don't know who the coach is. We don't know if Fitter is going to be around. There's just so many unknowns that we've got to get figured out ASAP.
Would you rather have more chances to figure it out or fewer chances?
I would like to have more.
That's where I say
I agree with you.
You can pick those guys because, like, DJ Moore is not a generational talent, right?
He's not. Brian
Burns is not a generational talent, right?
We're in trouble, Chris. We are walking that thin line.
So if we get the opportunity to get other guys in there with
But who's
whoever
to
the
say
head
we're going
coach.
to have generational talent at those spots,
So
Chris?
that's what I'm saying. So you don't know if you're going to have generational talent, but you do know that you can get a lot more guys to come in here that are good. And I'm not a big cap guy. I know Dave probably is a big cap guy.
I'm the cap guy.
You're the cap guy?
I'm the cap guy.
Okay, so we get guys with rookie contracts.
Yes.
To me, that's saving a whole lot of money. And if you get it halfway right, then you got some ability. David Tepper wants sustained success, not just one-time success. DJ Moore and Brian Burns is just 2 guys. And then you get what would have been 4 picks to make up for 2 guys.
Yeah.
Not to mention that you could quarterback. Again, I like to profess my ignorance. I don't know about the drafting in college, but you could load up some picks to either get a guy out the draft, move up, or get a free agent quarterback. And then you got money because you just got rid of guys that are expensive to be able to do that. But we're running out of time, and I want to get through a few more before we get out of here. My computer's
They're not
already.
gonna like you, man.
They're not gonna like me?
You're walking a thin line on that Brian Burns, not generational speak. I'm just speaking from a fan perspective. They're gonna eat you up, man.
They might eat me up, but you guys know I'm a nice guy. I wouldn't harm a fly. I'm just trying to provide some. So, hey, listen, I'm gonna tell you this.
It's true. No, it's true.
If anybody wants us to get on the right track, as a member of the media, I think somebody said to DJ Moore, we're on the verge. If we lose today, 5 years of losing. Is that right?
Never,
4? Is it
never
would it be
happened.
5?
It'll be 5, yeah.
5 straight years
Ever
of a losing
since
record.
Tepper came in.
Never has happened in history. We hit history last year with 4.
5 years straight. So I'm gonna tell you, I don't like guys leaving. I love both the guys that we're talking about.
Yeah.
I need to have some victories because this is getting old, covering teams that lose and lose and lose.
It's taking years off of our lives, man.
So, you got to do something different to win. Anyway, I'm taking up all the time and I don't want to. Let's try to get a few more comments before we get out of here and this computer shuts off. Let me see. My man Shakid said that it's dry inside the stadium. I know we want to stay warm out here.
That's good.
Or dry. Marvin Williams is a good wide receiver, says Tyrone Green. McAdoo is not the answer. You guys can jump in on any of this stuff if you want to expand upon it.
She just said right there.
Ali Broderick says, I know I'm late, but welcome back, fellas. Appreciate you tuning in.
Yeah, Ali.
Landon says, get a QB on a rookie deal and build around him.
Yeah.
See, that's possible.
There you go.
Chris Johnson says, what's up, guys? What's going on?
Chris?
Tyrone Green says 6 years of losing. And what's up, guys? Panther. The last comment, then I'm going to leave it to both of you guys to say whatever you want to say in closing. This is how bad it is right now. I posted a picture on my Instagram that just kind of popped up on my Facebook memories of the guys when, I don't know how many years, I think it might have been 6 years ago.
Right?
I'm not sure if it was Super Bowl year.
Yeah.
No, it was just a picture of the players walking to practice, and they saw me with my camera, and they just all busted out a pose.
Yeah.
That was the most liked picture
Oh,
that I've
my.
had on Instagram this year. And it was just a random picture. It was not like a game winning. And there's been some great photos this year, and everybody was just like, I could tell it was just like, oh, those were the good old days.
8 years ago.
8 years ago. Did you see it?
I'm
Right
seeing, I
here
see
on
it
the
now.
Yeah, so, and it was like, man, that was so fun. I just want to get back to that, man.
We all
or
want
even,
that back.
and even if you don't get back, just have fun again.
Yeah. Or at least get on the track towards having fun again.
Yeah.
Because, it's not fun losing. And you can
not.
see it on the guy's face. They could try to have fun, but it's just not the same when you're losing all these games.
All right, so since you're the guest, we'll let you go last.
Yeah.
Closing remarks. 6 years to losing, says Tyrone Green. Whatever you want to talk about in closing.
Well, man, I just got sidetracked because of all the losing. And what do I even say now?
Did you
But-
remember when? Oh, man, it was so much
But-
fun. It was so much fun.
It was.
Yeah, so
You got it sad over here, man.
it is kind of depressing. How do
Pour a
I
little
even,
liquor out.
Yeah.
How do I even close
We'll
on
get
that?
some liquor in a minute.
But in any event, this should be hopefully a good game. Hopefully we'll see some people out there. There's some positivity. This is the holiday season. It's a season of giving, and hopefully it's a season of giving for the Denver Broncos.
Give the ball
Russell
away.
Wilson throwing 4 interceptions. I mean,
4?
I'm
Okay.
being optimistic here. A little too optimistic. But in any event, we'll be down at the stadium covering the game. Paul, my coverage on the Charlotte Vibes Twitter page at Charlotte Vibe. We'll be having a lot of conversation on there. It's kind of like a weekly tradition, if you will, a home game tradition. So definitely be on the lookout for that. Rashad.
Yeah, just about the game, man. Listen, keep an open mind, man. Listen, just no expectations. Just watch the game, have fun. And I think, one guy I am going to keep my eye on, I do want to watch, especially for development purposes, is Brandon Smith. He's going to get a good opportunity with Littleton out.
Yep.
So let's keep an eye on Brandon Smith, see how he develops. Really, really good, a lot of potential. I've been talking about Brandon Smith when he was at Penn State a long time ago when I was covering the draft. So he's here. Hopefully he's going to get a good opportunity. So keep an eye on him. Run the football. Enough with the
Come on,
trick plays.
Deontay.
Yeah, run the football.
Please.
And I think if he gets 20-plus touches and, we can get somebody else with, Chuba 30. We run the football 30-plus times. As a conglomerate, I think we'll win this game.
Ooh, big word.
Yeah. I think we'll be good. So go Panthers, run the football. Sam, just be safe, okay? Just be safe with the football. No passing out any holiday treats, okay?
Hey, do you think LaVisca will get any targets beyond 5 yards down the field?
Dude, yeah, something other than a jet sweep or reverse or a wide receiver screen would be nice. I have not seen him run any routes at all season, so that would be great.
So which I'm glad that you said that. I know you do a lot of research. Have you checked out? Do you have any comments about his route running abilities? Is that why we're not seeing him getting the ball down the field?
I don't know. I don't know in particular what his route capabilities are. I've seen him run maybe one route. I think he's got like one catch. That positive.
We're talking about routes?
Yeah.
We're talking about routes.
But I honestly don't know how good he is.
I can't believe we're talking about routes.
Yeah, I don't know, but I think they want him to be our Debo, but I can't. I'm not seeing it yet, so I don't know. I don't know.
He's got to let these guys play. That's the whole mindset with it. I mean, you got to give him at least an opportunity to do something different. And hopefully we see that today. I don't want to see any more bubble screens. Run it down the field. Run a goal route. Do something. I mean, screw it at this point. We're 3-8. We got to do something different here.
Take some chances.
Take some chances.
Fake punts.
Hey, this guy is Rashad of Panther Nation Podcast. This guy's Andre Cassidy. I'm Chris Jenks with Charlotte Vibe. During the game, again, as he said, be sure to follow us on Twitter. We'll give you all the updates about the game, player injuries, and things as such. We'll be live. We're going to try to go live immediately after the game today, so make sure you set your bell notifications. We hadn't pushed the subscribe thing yet. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button.
You know what to do.
And also, I think you go live after the game, right, as well?
I don't know yet.
Don't know yet. So to be continued, but, follow him, turn on that bell notification as well. So if he does, it's not too intoxicated after the game. Well, you can't be. You got to drive home, right?
Ubering home.
Okay. So if he's not too intoxicated, he might be live as well. So appreciate you guys joining us. Again, for Rashad, for Andre, I'm Chris Jenkins from Charlotte Vibe. Everybody, have a good one.